The Swedish model. Why partial criminalization of sex work will not help sex workers or South African society. People all over the world are coming together to talk about sex work and how we could change the law to improve the lives of people involved in sex work. This is good news for sex workers and sex worker advocates in South Africa, who have been advocating for years for our government to remove the outdated criminal laws we have on sex work and to develop new policies and laws that protect sex workers. In recent years, lawmakers in Europe and other parts of the world have been talking a lot about the Swedish model, a policy model first introduced in Sweden in 1999. The model is sometimes referred to as the Swedish model, the Nordic model, partial criminalization of sex work, and partial decriminalization of sex work. The names might be different, but the result is the same. People who buy sex are arrested, and those who sell sex are encouraged into exit or rehabilitation programs. This means that sex workers can sell sex without facing prosecution from the police for their actions, but their clients would be arrested and prosecuted for buying sex. While this model is a bit better than the full criminalization of sex work, in that it recognizes that sex workers are not criminals who need to be punished, this legal model also creates a lot of harm. Firstly, instead of protecting sex workers, as this model intended to, it's made conditions worse for many sex workers in Sweden. Studies have shown that the criminalization of clients limits sex workers' strategies for keeping themselves safe. This makes it difficult for sex workers to screen and negotiate the terms of the transaction, particularly with condom use. It also displaces sex workers to isolated areas, and it makes it almost impossible for sex workers to rely on the police for protection. Secondly, instead of thinking about sex workers as workers, the Swedish model assumes that sex workers are victims who need to be rescued. In this model, sex workers' clients, almost always men, are demonized and cast as criminals who need to be punished just because they want to have sex and pay for it. Laws like this limit the freedom and livelihood of sex workers. It portrays clients in a bad light, and it criminalizes adult consensual sex. Lastly, there's little difference that the Swedish model has worked. Although lawmakers in Sweden argue that it is a great success, studies show that not much has changed. Because of this, we shouldn't choose the Swedish model. It does not protect sex worker rights, while it makes sex work less safe. We should choose laws that will empower sex workers, improve their working conditions, and protect them and their clients against harm. We should choose laws that respect South Africa's constitution, and importantly, we should listen to sex workers and what they want. We shouldn't choose the Swedish model. We should choose decriminalization of sex work.